Today saw the introduction of yet again another title update for Black Ops 4, this one being around 10 gigabytes for PlayStation 4. I'm not entirely sure about the other platforms if I'm totally honest with you, but probably right around that sizing. But regardless, this update was a lot of things for a lot of different reasons, but one of the big ones that a lot of people will definitely think about first and foremost is the big release of Operation Absolute Zero for Xbox One and PC. So along with that, for Xbox One and PC users, they ended up getting the access to Hijacked and Blackout. They ended up getting the new Black Market 100 tiers, new content, the new ways that Blackjack Shop and special orders are formatted, a bunch of different things as for different customization items all in the mix there. Then they ended up getting things like the new Zombies and MP content for Black Ops pass holders, that being Dead of the Night for Zombies players, and then MP players get Elevation and Madagascar's two new multiplayer maps. There's also access to the brand new Specialist Zero, who is now available once again at tier 1 of that new Contraband system. And then coming back to Black Ops Pass content for another character available, Reaper's now available in Blackout for pass holders on Xbox One and PC as of today as well. But there's a whole lot more that comes today than just what meets the eye on the surface, so in this video, let's just dive right into it. So the first thing that you'll notice that changed whenever you load up Black Ops 4 is there's actually a brand new loading screen. The intro cinematic, while still the same length, is a little bit different in that imagery that you'll end up seeing as compared to, say, just a day ago. And this one is now so more focused around Zero, the new content in Blackout. You see Hijacked highlighted at one point, and a bunch of other stuff to keep up to date with the updates of the game and the new content coming out. So in that sense, it's pretty cool that we have this now updated in a different version of this, but it's certainly a change you wouldn't notice unless you were actually looking for things that changed. Jumping over into the more so game mode specific stuff, let's start out with multiplayer because there's a decent bit that was added in here with this update. And I know a lot of you guys care more so about multiplayer than anything else, so in that sense, we'll talk about that first. A lot of new customization items are now on the table for Black Ops 4 and in multiplayer in particular. A lot of those coming out of Blackjack Shop and then also the new special orders as well. So starting out with Blackjack Shop, let's talk a little bit about this here. We firstly see the D-Day camo, which is reactive and set to the MOG 12 in that preview window. We'll talk about reactive camos in just a second because it's actually an awesome change with those. But this one is worth 400 COD points and it will then task you with 9 kills to unlock that reactive camo once you end up getting it. So it's not something that's super hard or anything like that, totally obtainable, but definitely something that's available there if you're interested in more camo customization. Additionally, we also have the brand new Shaman Crash outfit, that one being 800 COD points. And this one's honestly pretty cool. Again, customization in terms of uniforms aren't necessarily what I would say are the most useful of customization items simply because you only see the arms, but it's still cool nonetheless if you want to pick that up. It is available in the shop at the moment. Additionally, we see another camo added in, something like the Cherry Blossom that we saw last week, this one being the Rocketbox Camo, and I'm all for these kind of camos and the ones that we can end up getting, and even more so kind of now the reactive camos. Again, we'll talk about why in just a second, but for only $2 you can end up getting a camo you can use across every single weapon within Black Ops 4, and the Rocketbox Camo is simple, but it looks good, I think. Just like the Cherry Blossom, it's a more so simpler design. It's not too flashy, but it still looks great on any weapon you end up putting on it. So again, that's available for $2 in Blackjack Shop. You also end up having new war paints if that's interesting to you. It's $2 for I think like 22 or 23 war paints across all character customization, not just the specialist, but also you have your Zombies characters as well with the customization there that can then be used in Blackout and also Zombies. So if you guys are interested in face paints, I know that's not something that I'm super into, but if you guys are, again, you get a decent number of them for not so much money. And finally, the last thing that is added in terms of buyable items at the moment is Richthofen as well as a Ruin outfit in these special orders. Now, this Richthofen version is the Ultimus version, and this kind of answers the question of where were Ultimus Richthofen as well as Takeo, because they were missing from the Contraband stream. We have Dempsey and Nikolai in their Ultimus forms that are progressively unlocked through the tier system, but the other two were missing and kind of just unaccounted for. But now we see that this is probably the way we're going to be introduced to the other two. We have one available right now for I believe 600 COD points, and then we also end up seeing one still withheld, but more than likely going to be coming through actual purchasable items as well. So you get the uniform at that last tier, because you do have to progress through I believe 6 tiers of these to end up unlocking everything, but then you get some stickers, a calling card, and some other stuff like that, which to me is just filler, but I mean, I guess if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, it's available with that as well. But now coming over to some of the big changes here with this, we talked about reactive camos and why it's honestly awesome that these were changed, but reactive camos can now be universally used across any weapon within Black Ops 4. And that's awesome. There's only 2 prerequisites here for this, but they're both easily obtainable. One, you have to complete the Reactive Camo challenge for the designated weapon. So like we talked about, today's D-Day camo is available for the MOG 12. That's to get 9 kills with the MOG 12 and that camo equipped. But once you end up doing that, you can then use the D-Day camo across any other weapon that you then have the second prerequisite of gold for that weapon. So once you end up unlocking gold, you can not only use gold camo, but then you can equip any of these signature weapon reactive camos that are available in your black market selection. So that's super awesome in my opinion, because there are so many awesome reactive camos that have been underutilized, and for things like the D-Day camo on the MOG 12, I would never use the MOG 12 outside of camo challenges. So therefore, I can now use that special camo and put it on anything that I want. Same thing goes with, say, the MX9. That was one of the coolest variants that I saw out of all the weapons thus far. That can now be used on any weapon you want. Same goes with that brand new plasma camo that we got last week with Operation Absolute Zero starting, and that you guys now have on Xbox One and PC. That can now be used then whenever you end up going on any weapon, so long as you have gold unlocked and that reactive camo unlocked. So I'm all for this kind of thing. I think it's fantastic. It allows for much more customization and what seems like less of a bleed you dry type of deal in the marketplace when a camo comes out, because if it's for individual weapons, like I said, the D-Day camo being for the MOG 12, I wouldn't ever use the MOG 12 outside of camo challenges. So if I wanted to get that camo, I would have to buy something for a weapon that I don't really care about. And so in that sense, now being able to use it across the board, I think it makes it more worth that $4 price point in the marketplace. Additionally, one other kind of change that happened with the reactive camos, which isn't laid out in any of the patch notes, but I noticed that there's actually a new level for the masked reactive camo, which is available from the one from the Koshka as of last week. There's now 3 tiers to that, where there's a 6th headshot level now. It was 3 and 5, I believe, or something like that beforehand, but now there's that next level as well. But then on top of that, in terms of other multiplayer changes, we see that half off heist was added in. This one I'm not really too enthralled with, but for those of you guys that are interested in heist, that's available for you guys to play. Everything is half off in the buyable menu and how you approach the game mode as well, so you should be able to get more things like armor, score streaks, weaponry, all that in game. So that'll be interesting to see how it changes the meta this week. And then the other big multiplayer changes come down to Zero, because we've talked about how Zero's getting a nerf. We knew just a little bit about it, but now we end up knowing exactly what happened. So firstly, for Zero, you have an increased amount of time that it takes to earn the ice pick, so you're no longer going to be getting spammed as much as you would previously. It also increased the time that it would take to hack a UAV, counter UAV, and care package. Then it also greatly increased the time to hack a sentry, drone squad, sniper's nest, mantis, thresher, attack chopper, and gunship, which is fantastic, because again, those are the ones that are a little tougher to get. So if you can end up having those turned against you immediately or destroyed immediately, that makes you not want to run score streaks in the first place. Then it also increased the hack time of things like Torque's Barricade. It no longer prevents enemies from their healing cooldown, so you can now heal whenever your system hacked. The one thing that I haven't heard anything mentioned about, and it made no sense to begin with, is you couldn't use tomahawks when you were system hacked. Then it also finally closed off these adjustments with the mention that hacking assault packs would then cause them to expire. So that's something that was just changed a little bit there, but again, that is the first round of tuning passes for Zero. Really, I don't think that I've played enough games thus far since this update has been out to adequately, as of this time of recording, and by the time you see this, give you a fair assessment of how I really still think about Zero, whether I like it, whether I think is enough. I think that'll take a day or two to end up getting more acclimated to, but I'm definitely intrigued to see what the community's feedback is here with this one, and what the next level for this will be in a secondary tuning pass. That said, that's the first initial changes here towards Zero. Then in terms of things like Blackout moving over and shifting focus a little bit to a different game mode, there's a bunch of things here changed out as well. On top of course, Xbox One and PC getting things like Hijacked added into the map, we now have character unlocks clearly defined. It now lists the items right up front instead of just saying character unlocked via in-game missions or whatever it did beforehand. It now showcases what item you have to find in-game. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you the exact quest up front, so it doesn't say for things like Woods, fly a helicopter and then win the game. It instead just says that you have to find the bandana. So there are things that are, again, a little withheld still, but it gives you a little bit more indication as to what exactly you're looking for in-game. I think that's a good start here with this, and I actually do enjoy this change a lot. Additionally, it changed how characters are unlocked a bit as well. First things first, specialists in terms of those character customizations are now universally unlocked, but there's a different quest for the items that are still in the game. These will then reward you with the special uniform called the Numbers, which can be used in multiplayer or Blackout. And from what you can see on screen right now, the Numbers is a play on the classic Black Ops, the Numbers Mason, and it has the same flashy effect and even as what you'd see if you attempt to get the Mason questline done in Blackout as is. So it's got that on a uniform. It's a very cool piece of customization gear, I think. But the thing is that if you had some of these things unlocked already, it might seem unfair to you if somebody else who didn't do these end up having the same characters unlocked. And to that end, I totally understand where that might be a little bit frustrating, but it also is something where you're still equally a little bit rewarded, so you're still a step ahead of somebody else, is that you have those character skins of the Numbers. That's something you have by default as of this update. The other players that ended up getting those characters in Blackout unlocked don't have those. They still have to do the quest line and everything for that. So whereas specialists are now universally unlocked, the quest line for them now shift focus and they give you a specific and sort of exclusive uniform for multiplayer and Blackout. Additionally, custom games were added into Blackout as of this update. These now support 12 players that can play solos, duos, or quads, but unfortunately there's no real customization on the matches just yet. You can't change things like collapse speed, the zone placement, the timing of everything, spawn rates of items, that kind of stuff. The furthest of extent that you can end up customizing things is what type of game mode you want to play, that being again solos, duos, or quads. Now, it's kind of a bummer, but again, this is sort of a beta of custom matches in a way. I'm very much anticipating more changes to be made as time progresses, so all this will take is a little bit of patience to end up getting everything probably added in over the course of the next couple of weeks and months. So I'm okay with this as a starting point. Again, now you can jump in though and take a look at different things in terms of Easter eggs or something you wanted to test out with your friends. You wanted to see how much damage per shot or something a weapon has. Whatever it is, you now have the ability to jump in and play. Again, one slight unfortunate note is that you don't have bots at the moment. That's something you still have to invite a friend or just jump in solo. Other changes include audio improvements, and I'm super excited about this one because it finally lowered the volume of the supply plane. That was so loud that it drowned out everything beforehand. Honestly though, it could be used right in stealth play. I know that if you were somebody that didn't have dead silence, you could end up moving when the plane came in because it drowned out literally everything else. So you could end up sprinting and you would not hear the footsteps at all. So that's something that's kind of good that it was now brought down in the audio mix. And additionally, vehicle audio is now more audible. The engines are louder, and that was something that I know was an issue as of a last title update on PlayStation 4 that happened last week. It kind of caused a bug in which the new vehicles, in particular the ARAV, didn't really give you all that much heads up if it was anywhere near you. It was more so silent. Additionally, we end up seeing some more things added in, that being Contraband stashes. These are brand new stashes added into PlayStation 4 currently only. These will come later on, probably next week again, for Xbox One and PC, but these stashes will let you see new content from Blackout guaranteed. So the things like the Secret Santa and Sleigh Bell melees will be in these stashes. So a cool little way to end up getting a little more grasp on newer content. Then additionally, the one big thing that is actually not in this update but will be coming tomorrow are the camo functionality in Blackout. So that customization of taking multiplayer, zombies, or black market content in terms of camos and adding them to your weapons in all things considered within Blackout matches, that's going to be added as of tomorrow. So stick it right here on the channel. We'll cover all that for you guys as it comes out. But right now, if you're crazy, I know that I was searching all over the place for it and couldn't find it. You're not crazy. It's okay. You're not missing anything. It's just genuinely not in the game yet. In terms of zombies content, finishing up here with the final mode, there's a bunch of different bug fixes and crash fixes that, again, I'll just leave down there in the description below if you guys want to check that out. A little scrolling mention of them all on screen as well, so we don't take too much time writing off everything because there are a lot of situational things, but again, stability was a big focus here at this update. And then one final cool thing that I do want to mention in terms of updates and things added in is the addition of the auto sprint globally to console. This was already a thing on PC, but now it's available for all players on all platforms, and I think it's fantastic. All you have to do for this is just double tap your sprint configuration and you can really go at it. You can just run for as long as it may be, and you can even set your controller down essentially, so it just lets you run by default and automatically. So that's something that's going to be great if you have a long distance to cover in Blackout or something like that. That's also going to round out the changes here as of this update. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this update? Anything in particular you really enjoy? Anything you might not enjoy? Or whatever it may be in between? Feel free to let me know your thoughts. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course if you are new to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4, multiplayer, Blackout, zombies. We got you covered the best of all that, so if you're interested in any of the best of updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff, we got you covered here on the channel, so hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation or whatever, link in the description below to both of those. And other than that, hope you guys having a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.